Morning intuitives. Wanted to do a video today on something that most people don't realize about INFJs, and it's a very important, thing we can do, and it's another, yet again, trust your intuition kind of thing, and that is, don't lie to an INFJ, we can see right through you. So, if you're an INFJ like I am, you probably hate lies and deception as much as I do. If there's something that completely, throws us off balance, it's when someone doesn't speak the truth. INFJs, we can put up with a lot of shit and, usually look past it, but lying is usually a red line to us. Says cheating, by the way, and door slam. Go on. So, why do INFJs hate lying so much? Well, we're intuitive. We notice everything. It's kind of how NI works, whether we want it to or not, and we can't turn it off. I've tried. And, no amount of booze can turn off that intuition. I've tried. You're always going to notice things. You're always going to be putting patterns together. You're going to come to revelations that you wish you didn't. But they're there. Better to know the truth than live in the shadows. So, INFJs, we notice everything. That obviously includes lies. However, that doesn't mean we're immune to the pain that lies can cause, and it doesn't mean we can't be fooled too. Sometimes we don't trust our intuition and try to convince ourselves that somebody isn't lying and deceiving to us, and sometimes that ends up with you catching them cheating and things ensue and you end up with a bullet in the leg. But, we've all been there, right? No? Just me? Okay. So, lies affect us worse than any other personality type, except maybe ENFJs. They're right with us on hating lies. That's why ENFJs are also awesome. They're actually a little more awesome than us because, they don't have that whole introvert thing to overcome. So, the main reason why is because we value honesty and integrity above all else. I know I do, hence the name of the channel. Our idealistic nature is, we stubbornly try to convince ourselves that everybody is honest. We want to see the best in people, but we also know that's not true, whereas like ENFJs want to see the best in people, and they can be a little naive with people's true motivations because they're so sweet and pure, and that's what makes them sadly easy targets, especially in their younger days. And that struggling to say no thing really puts a target on their back, and that's, never mind. I'm not going to get into that today. Some of the times where that's happened to ENFJs I've been close to and the things I resorted to, I've mentioned them in the past. So, I know very well how it feels to be lied and deceived to. Every time you meet somebody new, I want to assume he or she speaks the truth. Suffice to say, that's not always the case. As I always say, in my own head, reminding myself that not everybody thinks like I do. Not everybody has the same heart and belief system that I do, meaning not everybody values honesty and integrity to the level I do. Some people are just grifters, pure opportunists that just see people as chess pieces, as their means to an end to satisfy their own desire, be it ambition or carnal, and don't care, who they have to lie, deceive, exploit, take advantage of. They only care about themselves. Narcissism. So INFJs can see through a lie. I already mentioned our ability to notice everything, but nowhere is that expressed greater than when a person tries to lie to us. Forget about polygraphs, and I've taken a couple. I was trying to get hired as a firefighter. They're scary, but they're not that scary. But then again, I wasn't taking one for a criminal matter. INFJs and ourselves are like a lie detector. We have that ability with our intuition to read facial expressions, notice the slightest shifts in a person's voice tone, and intuitively feel suspicious change. Makes us the perfect advocates to know when somebody's telling the truth. Now, of course, you have to be familiar with the person to know their facial tells, their different voice inflections, things like that. Someone you just meet, I mean, yeah, you can get an intuitive hunch, but to really know if something's up, you got to know the person at least to some level. INFJs, we can instinctively know when someone is not telling the truth. I'll tell you a little secret here. An INFJ even knows when someone lies through a written message. So, you know, if someone's writing you something and it's written nowhere near like the way they speak, or it seems completely out of character and it's just a stunt that they're trying to do, yeah, we can see through that too. That's, how good we are at noticing patterns, and that includes potentially lies. Now, others, most other types, except maybe ENFJs, are going to think this whole thing with us knowing who's a liar and everybody lies is a bit weird. But, you have to understand, because of our, INFJ intuitive abilities to pinpoint when somebody lies, you'll be seen as weird. And to certain types, especially narcissists of all types, but specifically certain narcissistic types that, love the spotlight and act like they're the greatest thing, like everything they touch turns to gold because they touch it, like narcissistic ENTP types, we're seen as dangerous. And they know we can see through them. They know we can see through lies, and they're gonna seek to try to discredit you so you don't rip the mask off, because that's something else we do, and we're damn good at that too. So, the question you got to ask yourself as an INFJ is, do I want to live a fake life or an authentic one? And as I've explained in other videos, living an authentic life with honesty and integrity comes at its cost, and often means doing the right thing at your own detriment. Trust me, I know. I'm living it. Yeah. Integrity. Such a cruel mistress. Though it's gonna pay off one day, right? That's what, righteous people have been telling me, or maybe they just benefit off of me calling people out so they don't have to, so they can maintain their position within the club. I don't know. Time will tell. So as INFJs, we're beacons of uniqueness as well. We spend countless hours convincing ourselves that through our more insecure nature and through, our love of honesty and integrity, that doing the right thing is worth all the struggles that you go through maintaining it. And there's going to be a lot. You know, I can tell you, from personal experience, most of the time it is. I know all those, there's something wrong with you, the way people question you when you get that intuitive hunch that somebody's lying, and they go, that person would never do that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, that person's just a good actor, you know. It's just because they put on the facade of being a good person when they're out in public doesn't necessarily mean that's who they really are when they think no one important is paying attention or looking. But, that INFJ in the corner who's staring off into space with their INFJ stare, they can hear you. And then things start spinning and the puzzle comes together. And then, uh-oh, looks like that mask is getting ripped right off. And, oh my god, look what's under it. It's hideous. It's like Psychomantis hideous. Alright. So, if we choose to, sadly there's a dark side to this, if an unhealthy INFJ chooses to be a liar, they can probably fool a lot of people. It's more so rare. Like I said, I'm a terrible liar, and an even worse actor. So, as much as I value honesty and integrity, part of my authenticity is the fact that, I lack the ability to do anything else. So, but in some cases, because an INFJ knows how to spot a liar, they themselves can be a liar at the same time and play off the other person's lies. This is why most of us choose a path of honesty and understanding, because, when you choose to engage a liar with more lies and you play along with them, and I don't just mean for a couple minutes to get them to trip up and expose themselves, I mean like for long periods of time, then this lie's going to build and build and build and build, and it's going to come back on you. I've seen it. It's kind of funny when people do it in the right context. So, no matter what the consequences you may face or what other people say, remember that when you're seeing through somebody's lie and telling the truth anyway, you're doing it for the right reason. The truth wants to be known. The truth deserves to be known. Understand that, as an INFJ, seeing through lies goes hand in hand with your introverted intuition. Understand that if you think somebody's lying, they probably are. I mean, you got to watch out for rumors and wild accusations, but if you're noticing a pattern with somebody's lies, there's probably something to that. It's, at the very least, probably more correct than incorrect, and you have to trust your intuition, as always, on that matter. And if you could potentially spare somebody pain, embarrassment, exploitation, etc., the right thing to do is to expose that liar. So just remember that when you catch a liar lying, trust your intuition on that person's lies, and don't sell out your integrity to protect the liar just because that liar may or may not be a big shot.